inside the True Stone Center here in Rogers on this Saturday afternoon as the River City Blades, in their first year as a newly named program, trying to make it 7 of their last 8 when they visit the home team Rogers Royals. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Bill Hupp for CCX Sports, and it's an interesting game today here in the Northwest Suburban Conference. River City comes in with a record of 6-2 on the season under longtime head coach Todd Gutterman, and they have a lot of offensive firepower, averaging nearly 4.5 goals per game, and they will be tangling against a Rogers team under Dan Miller in his second season in charge, under 500 but above 500 in the Northwest Suburban Conference. So each of these teams off to a good start in conference play, and everybody trying to chase number 2 Centennial at the top of the conference. River City is loaded offensively. They have 5 players with 20 points or more, but only one who has more than 40 points on the season, and that is senior forward Sydney Bernovic. Bernovic, 21 goals, 20 assists on the season, bound for Assumption College. And the senior forward in her last go-around in a Blades sweater, trying to make it count. And she leads a dynamic offensive output for this River City's Blades team. That's nearly 18% on the power play, and has a lot of depth as well. Bernovic, extremely skilled, really good on the power play as well. And she's going to be someone that Rogers has to stop if they want to have a chance to defend their home ice today. Rogers, meanwhile, they are led by a senior forward of their own in Bridget O'Brien. O'Brien, the senior forward, with 7 goals and 4 assists on the season. This is a team that just scores over 3 goals a game, so not the biggest output. That the senior co-captain is one of the leaders, longtime player in this Royals team. And as the games start to dwindle down, she knows her career in a Rogers sweater is coming to a close, and she wants to make it count in her last few home games on this True Stone Center ice. So it should be a pretty competitive game between these two teams in the Northwest Suburban Conference. We'll have Puck Drop for you next on CCX.
For 90 years, Connection has been at the heart of everything they do at Topline Financial Credit Union. Their team is passionate about connecting with you to help you reach your financial dreams. For some, they're here for your first, like your first checking account, first car, or first home. For others, they're here for those next steps, whether it's remodeling your home, saving for retirement, or starting a small business. Become a Topline member and let them be a part of your big moments. Visit toplinecu.com, because connected, we all do better. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Inside the True Stone Center here in Rogers, Minnesota, as the Rogers Royals get set to tangle with the River City's Blades, formerly Coon Rapids Champlain Park, the co-op program that was named the Bluebirds. Now they are the River City Blades. Same similar kind of uniforms, though, same coloring. And we are underway here on this Saturday afternoon. River City trying to improve to 7-2. Quick shot from Rogers. And the save made by Elin Bernovic, the freshman. Impressive numbers for her. 7-1 with a 1.96 goals against average and an .879 save percentage, as the draw will come out to her left. It's won by River City, and they'll bank it up. Nicely played there by June Smelling into the path of her teammate, the sister of the goaltender, Sydney Bernovic. We'll talk about her quite a bit today. She feeds it back to the point in Callie Alphen. Played down low into the left wing corner where there's a board battle, as we're 30 seconds in. Rogers able to clear. Tracked down by Olivia Pitson. She takes it on the backhand and spins it corner to corner. Rogers in the black, white, and royal blue, fitting for the Rogers Royals. Meanwhile, River City in the white helmets with the navy blue uniforms. White numbering and letters and red trim. Pass up ahead. Bounding puck eventually tracked down by June Smelling. Junior forward takes a shot and whistles it wide. Comes up the far side boards. Rogers unable to clear. Picked up again by Smelling. She fires a shot and scores! And River City, a minute 17 into this contest, has come to Rogers Ice and tried to claim their crown. 1-0 our score. That'll be an unassisted goal for June Smelling. So you take a look at the replay. Smelling her 18th of the season. And she just fired off a wicked wrister that snuck inside the left post. Nothing that the goaltender Zoe Campbell-Erickson could do about it. Unassisted first period goal for June Smelling. And River City is on top. Goals against average and an .843 save percentage. Face-off, one back to the point. Tipped in front and not too far away from Caitlin Easton. River City buzzing right now. They bank it off the near side boards and down. Now it's played back down low. Fed out in front. Goal line extended. They're jamming away at it. Finally, the puck is picked up here by Bryn Bischoff, and the senior defender is able to clear. All the way back down, and icing is the call as Elin Bernovic wisely let it go past. 1-0 our score here in the early going. River City leading Rogers. Come in having won 6 of their last 7. Their only loss, a 4-3 defeat to Woodbury in the title game of the tournament in South St. Paul that's played at Woog Arena. Holiday tournament. They lost that on New Year's Day. Otherwise, they'd be undefeated in 2026. There's a shot through traffic. Loose rebound. Smelling's there. Where's the puck? It's loose in the crease. Still jamming at it. Campbell-Erickson sprawling. And finally, with bodies all over the ice, the refs lose sight of it and blow the play dead. A great effort once again just to put the puck on net. Smelling was in there. Number 23, Bella Lindquist, was in there as well. And they were just jamming at it, trying to get it in the goal. Rogers off the faceoff will carry it on out. Flipped ahead by Lauren Swanson, the sophomore forward. She'll give chase. A big collision. We got a delayed penalty coming up, as I think it's going to be Smelling who gets charged, who gets whistled for checking. So June Smelling's had an active first period. 3 minutes and 44 seconds the time of the penalty. As Smelling sits in the box kind of sheepishly. Doesn't seem too fussed about it. River City 85% on the penalty kill this year. Rogers, meanwhile, about 17% power play. Rogers has it off the faceoff. Pass across above the left circle, thrown on net. Back! Oh, the gaping net, and somehow they missed it. It was on the backhand. I thought for sure they were going to score it. Instead, it gets caught in the jersey of number 8 there. Hadley struck. It literally struck her. Hadley struck. And ultimately that was the difference. Now Sydney Bernovic shorthanded. Bernovic moving in, and a great job defensively to come poke it away by Struck. Minute 18 left on the power play as Ellie Bailey works it to center ice and then backhands it in deep. Pitchforked around to the near boards. And again, they're able to get it out. Lily Reed that's Lindquist doing the honors. It's a very aggressive penalty kill, and they can score shorthanded as that's tipped. Tracked down by Kylie Oswegian. 7 goals and 12 assists on the season for her, the 5th leading scorer. Smelling only the 2nd leading scorer because Sydney Bernovic's so prolific. Comes around and played in the left wing corner. Now River City trying to just kill off time. 30 seconds left on the Smelling minor penalty. Carried on out and then backhanded in deep. Olivia Johansson gives chase. 14 seconds left. Nice move by Callie Alphen. One of the longtime defenders for this River City team. Diagonal dump there by Caitlin Easton. And that allows River City to change. Long stretch pass evades everyone. It was intended for Bailey, but it was out of her reach, and so icing is the call as we take a look at the big chance for Rogers on that power play. Just deflected, and again, wide open because it went by. And then Sydney Bernovic with an excellent chance as well, but a great recovery there. I think it might have been Evelyn Volkers who couldn't control the bounding puck on the doorstep. Otherwise, that would have been the easiest goal she'd scored all season. 5 minutes gone by, first period, 1-0 our score. At the point. We go D to D with it, deflected in front, and it missed the net. Just wide. Swanson weaving her way right to left into the zone. Takes it on the backhand, centering pass. Centers again, side netting though for Rogers. Cross ice pass. Flipped by Swanson, but then taken at the blue line. And now both teams trying to change on the fly. Eventually it's dumped in deep by Lexi Solomon, who goes off. Eventually picked up by River City, and they look to transition from defense to offense. Cross ice pass finds its way to Corbin Kruger, freshman forward with 9 goals and 9 assists this season. Stolen away by Kruger, centering pass out front, a great pass, jamming at it, they score! Rogers, persistence pays off, as ultimately Ellie Bailey gets her 11th of the season, but that was very much created by the tenacity of Corbin Kruger, who I'm sure will get one of the assists. Ellie Bailey, goal number 10 for her. Time of the goal, I believe, 6:01. Yep, Corbin Kruger, the lone assister. So 1-1 our score now. We've got a good one. Now Rogers tries to take advantage as Evelyn Volkers tracks it to the corner. Spun out of the zone by River City. Hustling Tessa Bowden, who is one of the big guns on this River City team, tries to give chase, but icing is the call. 10:26 to go, first period. River City 1, Rogers 1. Ellie Bailey, her 11th of the season. She is second on the team in points with 17, as Kruger leads the team in assists now with 10. And Bailey, her team leading 11th goal of the season, so not a surprise. It's a very young Rogers team, but you figure in a couple of years they will be a force to be reckoned with in the Northwest Suburban. They can keep the team together. 6-2 shots advantage in favor of River City. Here's a glorious chance, blocked down though, doesn't quite reach the net. Alphen tries to clear, manages to get it to Bowden. Tessa Bowden with ice to move into. Weaving her way through the neutral zone. Pass evades her teammate Lindquist. A little bit of trouble with the footing from Peyton Strombeck. Strombeck and Bryn Bischoff, the two starting blue liners, alternate captains for this Rogers team. Nice defensive play there by Kenley Punchachar. There's a shot. Good pad save made by Brnovic. Feels like between the goalie and Sydney Brnovic, we'll be calling the Brnovic name a lot. Smelling picks it up behind the Rogers net. She'll go for a little skate in the Rogers zone. Finally ridden off the puck. Big collision in the middle of the ice. The hands stay down. Hannah Pitson, sophomore forward, banks it up for Smelling to track, but icing is the call. So at least River City will get a change. Here's the chance. It just fell fortuitously to Punkachar, and she does have 9 goals on the season, so she certainly knows how to find the back of the net. Very balanced scoring. She has 9. Kruger's got 9. Ellie Bailey with 10. Bowden battling here with number 7, Senafitsky. Eventually it finds its way to Kylie Oswegian. She gets it to Pitson. She'll dump it in and go off for a change. Fitsky tracking it down in the left wing corner, and she'll backhand it along. Good forecheck this from River City. They force a turnover deep in the zone. River City reverses course and spins it back down the wall. Just hop on the ice, Callie Alphen controls. Alphen, and big collision at center ice as both players were trying to change. That was Callie Easton who took the worst of it for River City. A little more than halfway through this first period. Rogers and River City tied at 1. Callie Alphen goes down. They say play on, do the refs. Kruger goes over to the near side and then has her pass intercepted. Smelling through the neutral zone, has it picked by Kruger, has her pocket picked by Kruger. Now the icing will be the call. And so we'll take the draw back down in the Royals' end. Shots 6-4 in favor of the Blades so far. As we take a look at Dan Miller in his second season in charge of this Rogers program. Broadcast brought to you by Topline Financial Credit Union. They've generously sponsored all of our broadcasts this year. We thank them for that support. Off the draw, Rogers carries it out. Ava Johansson into the zone, but then knocked off the puck. Here's Smelling. Kind of a lone wolf all night. She drops it back and then goes right to the front of the net. It's tipped wide by Lindquist. Blades able to hold the zone, and now they set up the forecheck. Just out of the zone there, and then whacked ahead. And then it'll be swept to the opposite corner by Johansson. Big shot by Punkachar, and then we've got a delayed penalty coming up. Tripping will be the call. Rogers able to touch it up, and so the extra attacker didn't matter, but each team now with a spot in the box as Peyton Strombeck just took a little bit too much out of Tessa Bowden. And so tripping penalty puts the River City Blades on the power play, where they are 17.5% this year. And meanwhile, penalty kill is 78% for Rogers. They don't give the time of the penalty, but I'm going to say it was 10-15. Or thereabouts. Rogers penalty kill effective so far, though, as they bank it out of the zone. Carried on in by number 23, Bella Lindquist. Look for Smelling, look for Sydney Bernovic, whose name we really haven't called much tonight so far. Into the zone, Lexi Solomon. Left pad save made by Campbell Erickson. And they'll play it all the way down. Rogers, fresh penalty killers on the ice. Minute left on this tripping minor as they'll begin the rush anew. Bernovic has it taken off her stick and then goes for a change as it's flung back down the ice. Bernovic headed to Division II Assumption in Massachusetts. She has a handful of Minnesotans on its roster. 43 seconds left on the player advantage. Weaving into the zone. Shot from the right point driven down. Doesn't even reach Campbell Erickson. One shot so far on this power play. Pitson picks it up between the rings. Down the right wing with speed into the zone. On the backhand. Goes off the end boards. Now looking for a pass. Callie Alphin has her shot driven down. Banks off the opposite end boards, and it's pitchforked out to center ice. Smelling over to Alphin. Alphin moves middle. Dodges a defender's check. High slot shot. She scores for the second time from the second place. From the same spot between the two rings, River City has struck, this time in the opposite post. Two excellent shots, and Callie Alphin's goal gives the Blades the lead once more. That was just a brilliant individual effort as she regained the zone. I believe it was still, there was still time on the penalty. We're back to full strength, so it'll go down as a power play goal for Callie Alphin unassisted. For Alphin, goal number 6 this season. And they're going to give Semling, June Semling gets the goal. So Semling's got a goal and an assist in this hockey game. She is up to 40 points for the season in her fantastic junior campaign. Time of the goal, 13 minutes of the first period. Now Rogers fans getting frustrated about the lack of calls. They're out shooting them 2-1, and they're up on the scoreboard 2-1. Is River City. Ultimately, Lauren Swanson clears it out, throws it on net, and Bernovic will do the wise thing and just melt it down. Just about 4 minutes to play before our first intermission. 2-1 our score. Semling gave Alphin the puck at center ice, and so that was counted as an assist, but make no mistake, that was primarily a Callie Alphin production. As she split defenders, regained the zone, split defenders, and then fired a wicked wrister inside the right post. Opportunity here on the backhand, and they score! Tessa Bowden, goal number 12 this season. The captains are producing here for River City on this Saturday afternoon. That was a little bit of puck luck, but also a great job driving the net by Bowden. As you see, Bowden eventually skates onto it and then just slides it past on the backhand. Forehand, backhand, goal. So Alphin this time provides a sister, or becomes a sister. So she scored and assisted as well as Semling. As Tessa Bowden gets that goal, and it's 3-1. That one another even strength tally. That one coming at 14:51. So 2 goals, 2 minutes apart have given River City a 2-goal advantage. There's a shot Again, falls right to a dangerous person in Evelyn Volkers, who had it on her stick at the dot but missed the net. Rogers trying to make something happen in their River City zone. Shot blocked down by Bowden. Picked up here by Lily Barnhouse, freshman defender. Her shot goes wide. Now River City trying to transition. It's just the speed and scale. Bowden picks the pocket of a defender and missed the net. Just shot it over the net. Another glorious chance, though, for River City. Dug out, coming off the wall, and nice job by Zoe Campbell-Erickson to be wary of that and make the save. As we take, again, off the deflection, off the skate, falls kindly, but she just yanked it wide. Trying to pick out that top corner, and then Tessa Bowden just taking it away from Swanson. And this time she went forehand and missed. Delayed penalty coming up as Rogers goes down, and now River City. This time it's Livy Reed who took that one, but ultimately it's going to be another penalty, second of the period now on Peyton Strombeck. I think that's going to be a check-in. That time of the penalty is 16-12. As you see, just kind of hit her from behind and goes down and then finishes it. And that's what I think really cost her. Maybe she just lost her balance, but it puts River City back on the power play. Penalty time just about even with the game clock. So this is an all-important 2 minutes for Rogers. They do not want to go into the first intermission trailing 4-1. There's a shot and a score! A laser from June Semling. She's got a pair of goals and an assist in this first period. And River City has come to Rogers Ice and said, Royals, we would like your crown. What a shot. Second power play goal of the period for River City. And again, Zoe Campbell-Erickson could do nothing about it, as that was just a well-placed shot with some speed. Bang. What a shot. We'll have to see who got the assist on that one, but Semling credited with the goal, obviously. And Rogers with some work to do. Chance here as Semling fans on that one. Still in the possession of the Blades, though. Semling has scored in a variety of different ways inside each post. One from the high slot and then one there from the circle. Like I said, also assisted on that. As she regains the zone and dishes it wide for Bernovic, and Bernovic sees her effort go into the net. And Semling gets mixed up. And the Rogers faithful getting frustrated with the physicality of the play. They're saying that it shouldn't be a goal, but that one, like, it should be goalie interference, I think. And that think that might have, I don't know, deflected in. It's hard to say from this angle. Here's a better one, off the shoulder, bounding puck. Did it trickle over the line? That's what is in question, but certainly Anna Pitson and Sydney Bernovic celebrated like it should be. Semling is in the box for the second time. What a period for her. She scored 2 goals, had an assist, and committed both penalties for River City. She's in the box, I guess, for roughing with 29 seconds left. So time of the penalty, 17:31. But what an eventful period for June Semling, the future Minnesota State Mankato talent. And she scored at, I believe, 15:57, just about. So really, that might be the tale of the tape here, as they scored 3 goals in a span of 2 minutes to make it 4-1. Now it's 5-1 on the scoreboard, or our scoreboard anyway. Each ref is talking to each respective coach, and I think it's going to stand. I think it's going to be 5-1 Blades. Here's our best look, thanks to our crew, and it deflects off the edge of the stick and trickles, and then the goalie slides back and hits the post, and of course the ref gets in the way there. Hard to see whether the entire puck was over the line or not, but it was certainly inside the post. I mean, it got into the goal, but it was hard to see even from our angles whether or not the entire puck was over the line. Now, as we take another look, you see the bounding puck there. Looks like it's right on the line, but obviously the post blocks our view, and then Campbell Erickson goes back and hits the post herself. And obviously the officials don't have access to this footage, so it's just to the best of their abilities, but they're explaining it to Dan Miller as we speak. And I'm going to plead ignorance here. I can't say definitively it went in or it didn't. Certainly it was close. But that has brought the game to a halt with 29 seconds left here in the first period. An eventful first period, to say the least. I believe it's going to be Sydney Bernovic with the goal, if it counts. And if it does, Bernovic with her 22nd of the season. As we take a look again, Bernovic, you see it, just tries to go in between the gap between the blocker and the body, and it just snuck in. It was a pretty tough shot, but the bounding puck, she doesn't know where it is, reaches behind, and I think this is going to count as a goal. And I don't think there's anything in that you can say definitively. If we did have replay, there's nothing there that would, clear and obvious is the term they use, as far as why the goal should be disallowed. And now the parents are, fans, I should say. I should specify parents. The fans are starting to get a little restless here. It certainly looks like this goal is going to stand, and we're going to have a 5-1 lead. Meanwhile, Semling takes a penalty as she collides and gets the better of it with Bryn Bischoff. Those two have been going at it. Bischoff kind of raised her stick almost in a cross-checking fashion, but Semling, she was skating backwards, and Semling just collided with her. So Rogers technically is on the power play thanks to that Semling checking penalty. 10 seconds left in the period. A little board battle as River City just tries to waste time. And we got a penalty coming up here. Bella Lindquist goes to the ice, and the hand goes up. Cross-checking the call as some frustration starting to seep in with Ellie Bailey, the guilty party. No, it's going to be... No, I beg your pardon. It's going to be... Yes, Lily Barnhouse. Can't read my own writing. Lily Barnhouse. I have her as 32. So I'm going to fix that on my score sheet. 29, Lily Barnhouse, the freshman, the alternate captain, will go. So now 4-on-4 hockey, essentially for the first 2 minutes of the second period. We'll see what that reaction is from the crowd as soon as the horn sounds. The Rogers fans, none too pleased as time expires here in the first period, and I think people are looking around a little confused here as we end our first period. But River City, the power of their top line, the power of their superstars carried the day here in the first period. June Semling, a pair of goals, a pair of penalties, and an assist. And ultimately, it's we go to the first intermission with the Blades on top of the Rogers Royals by a 5-1 score. Back to recap it before the second period starts. We'll have second period action as well coming up here on CCX.
For 90 years, Connection has been at the heart of everything they do at Topline Financial Credit Union. Their team is passionate about connecting with you to help you reach your financial dreams. For some, they're here for your first, like your first checking account, first car, or first home. For others, they're here for those next steps, whether it's remodeling your home, saving for retirement, or starting a small business. Become a Topline member and let them be a part of your big moments. Visit toplinecu.com, because connected, we all do better. Federally insured with the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
5-1 our score back here at Truestone Center in Rogers. River City on top of the Rogers Royals. As we take a look at first period highlights. First period highlights here in Rogers, and so far, early on at least, it was all River City, as June Semling was brilliant, taking a goal and scoring a minute 13 into this contest with a fantastic individual effort. But River City did a nice job scrapping, and eventually they would find the game-tying goal, courtesy of Ellie Bailey. Her team-leading 11th goal of the season would tie us at 1. It stayed that way for a little while, but ultimately River City started taking control, and the key stretch was 3 goals in a span of 5 minutes. This one came at 6:01 to make it 2-1. It was 2-1 for a little while, and then these 3 goals toward the end of the period really broke things open. Ultimately, on the backhand, Tessa Bowden took advantage of a great pass. Big-time contributions from June Semling, her second goal of the period right there. She had 2 goals and an assist. Callie Alphin had a goal and an assist. And then June Semling, Sydney Bernovic got in the act. The leading scorer for this River City team got in the act late. And take a look at the stats through one period of play. 13-5 shots in favor of River City. They had the majority of the scoring chances as well. Both teams, River City took 2 penalties. Rogers took 3. River City so far 2 for 2 on the power play. And Rogers 0 for 2. As both teams will start 4-on-4 as we begin this second period. It was a pretty lively crowd because we were none too pleased with some of the refereeing decisions. And they were fairly vocal about their opposition. New goalie in net for Rogers. In this second period, it's Lauren Nuremberg. She actually took over midway through the third period momentarily, but Zoe Campbell-Erickson's back in net. Lauren Nuremberg spelled Campbell-Erickson, who is just a sophomore, Nuremberg a freshman, and she spelled her for just a little while. So that is number 35, Zoe Campbell-Erickson, back in net. Nuremberg gave up a couple of the goals. And so Campbell-Erickson's back in there after everyone just took a collective deep breath. And now Bernovic carries down the ice. Banks it off the end boards. Giving chase Lindquist. Not sure why there wasn't support at the point there as a Sweden was backing up. Bernovic regains the zone for the Blades. Forced to the outside. She rims the circle looking for a pass. Bernovic still carries it. 4-on-4 we remain. Good pass down low, poked toward the goal by a Sweden, but couldn't hit the net. Back up to the point. Solomon plays it for Bernovic. Back to Solomon now. Screen out in front, and it goes 5. Good save by Campbell-Erickson. Campbell-Erickson had to close the pads quickly to get that, keep that out of the net. Minute 8 left on the Rogers penalty, 40 seconds left on the River City penalty as Semling continues to sit in the box. River City took 2 penalties in that first period. Rogers took 3. Off the draw, River City. Callie Alphen can't get much purchase on the shot. There's a shot that flashes wide. A minute gone by here in this second period. 5-1 our score. Good turnover forced. Just 20 seconds left of 4-on-4 hockey. And then River City will have a player advantage. Rogers finding it difficult to get out of their own zone. Alphen moves in to steal it. Shoots. Right pad save. Campbell Erickson. Coming off the wall, Tessa Bowden slides it across. Alphen can't get much. Now that's off the side netting. River City back to full strength. 25 seconds left with the player advantage. Stolen here and scoring. Tessa Bowden, her second of the afternoon. 6-1 Blades. Another power play goal. River City 3 for 3 on the power play today. The relentless forecheck, just forcing turnovers. And again, a difficult shot from the left dot, just over the stick of Zoe Campbell Erickson. Unassisted the goal, and that goal comes at 1:40 of the first period. So they scored a 1:17 of the first and now 1:40 of the second to make it 6-1. River City appears poised to win their 7th of their last 8 games, unless fortune should change. Rogers trying to get something going offensively as they operate down in the River City end. 16-5 now, shots in favor of Rogers, or River City, beg your pardon. Good save there by Elin Bernovic. Sister Sydney is on the score sheet with the 5th goal of the afternoon. Rogers, River City trying to clear. Rogers takes it away. Fans wanted a penalty called. Delayed offside, they touch it up. Rung around the far side boards. Thrown on net. Campbell Erickson turns it aside to the near side boards. That was off the stick of a Sweejan. Played all the way down. And icing is the call. So the faceoff will come back down to the left of Zoe Campbell Erickson. River City came in averaging 4.28 goals per game, and that average is only going to rise after this one. Off the face-off, Royals able to get it out of their own end. Skating ahead, 22, battling with 22. And a big collision into the end boards. Picked up here by Morgan Johnson, the freshman forward. They operate here as Alphen skates above the left circle. Moves to the dot, trying to get a shot off. Ultimately, well played defensively by Kenley Punkachar. Into the zone. Bounding puck, goal line extended. Punkachar takes it. Bounding puck is eventually snagged by the netminder Elin Bernovic. I think the Rogers fans getting frustrated that River City is playing to the sort of shadow of the whistle. So a pair of players sit in the box. This is, I think it's Livy Reed and Olivia Johansson. It's definitely Olivia Johansson who is in the box for Rogers. The clock stopped with 13:02 left in the second period. Meanwhile, that's Callie Alphin in the box for River City. So it appears to be coincidental minors for the after the whistle extras that happened. 6-1 our score as you take a look at the penalties. That bounding puck, and you see Alphin comes in and just trying to protect her goalie as Johansson whacked at the puck, trying to dislodge it from the glove. So certainly just a hockey play, it seems. And we are full strength. Shot on net, good save. That one from point blank range as Evelyn Volker's involved. Something I was noticing, top scorer is Corbin Kruger with 9 goals and 10 assists. And then Elin Bailey, 11 goals, 6 assists. And Evelyn Volkers, 2 freshmen and a 7th grader. So that just tells you the top 3 scorers on this Rogers team are all kids. They're all 7th, 8th, 9th graders. They're a young team. Shot save, another great save. Campbell Erickson, couple of nifty pad saves. Cleared but not out. Rogers struggling to clear the zone. Tessa Bowden on a hat trick, as is Semling. Bowden turns, shoots off the end board. Now back at the point. Slung across, a bit of a collision there, and Isla Olsen lost her bearings. Finally flipped up and out. Oh, nearly into the path of a speedy Volkers, but it bounced fortuitously to Olsen. Now Rogers, as each team going deeper into its bench here in the second period. Centering pass, certainly River City with a 6-1 lead is doing so, as that shot from the point is snagged and held on to. Nice job by Zoe Campbell Erickson, who was replaced, but 2 consecutive excellent saves as she moves post to post right there to keep it a 5-goal margin. Face-off coming to the left of Elin Bernovic. They try to play it down the wall and can't. Instead, it's Semling on a hat trick. Semling bearing down on net. Backhand shot. Can't get it off. Tried to score it. Instead, she'll shoot from the high slot and shoot high. Well, I thought for sure Semling was going to get that hat trick, but ultimately well defended by Rogers. Pass from circle to circle, a little bit too hot. Now it's a battle along the left half wall. Kicking at it, Semling cycles it back, and now it's back down the wall. Semling, centering pass, a little too much speed, drop back to the point. Picked up here by Lindquist, again trying to center. No one was home. Just thrown out to the front, hoping a teammate would be there. Taken away at center ice. Hadley Struck tries to track it down at her own blue line, and it goes up into the River City bench, hence the whistle. Coincidental minors are over as June Semling, you see here, he got there and then just fanned on the shot. It just got a little away from her as she dragged it from her forehand to her backhand, trying to tuck it in that left post. Alphin shifts it near side for Olsen. Battle in the neutral zone. Eventually Rogers able to force it down as Artessa Fisher gets it in deep for the Royals. Chipped along by River City, cleared but not out. Finally, they decide to ice the puck to get a change. Well, just about midway through this second period, not nearly as eventful as the first period. Saw 5 goals and 5 penalties. So Todd Gutterman speaks to his one of his co-captains, who was in charge of the CPCR Bluebirds before they became River City and assumed a different identity. Shot off the end boards, picked up, backhanded in, big collision right in front of the ref, arms stay down. Bowden on a hat trick and a good job. Campbell Erickson stayed square to it and made the save. Bowden with a pair of goals, Semling with a pair of goals. As you see, just lost it behind the net, and then Bowden picked it up, evaded a defender, and decided to fire off a shot. Right idea. Blades win the face-off and play it in deep. Tammy Lorenzen. There's a shot. Another nice pad save made. Again, they're just kind of shooting these from unexpected areas and angles. Anna Pitson tried to get on the score sheet right there. And Campbell Erickson, again, wise to it. Unselfish pass, well read by Callie Alphen. Picked off at the line by Corbin Kruger. Alphen trying to work her way out of the zone. Shoved to the ice by Kruger. Now a board battle. Forced back in the zone. Volkers can't get past Alphen, who fires it up off the glass and all the way down. Icing the call. So each team will throw a fresh line out there. And again, Zoe Campbell Erickson maybe had her confidence a little shaken after that first period, but she has reacted well to some quick shots here in this second period. River Cities and Rogers here at the True Stone Center on a Saturday afternoon. Shot blocked in front nicely there by Lily Barnhouse. Or excuse me, that was number 28, Lexi Solomon. Lindquist battling with Swanson. Rogers trying to possess the puck a little bit more, right into the path of June Semling. Semling attracting a host of Rogers defenders, and they knock her off the puck. Pressure from Swanson forces Bernovic to melt it down. Elin Bernovic, just a freshman, robust 7-1 record. Gianna Eckel also plays quite a bit. She's 5-6 on the season. Banked off the far wall, right into the path of Semling. Semling on the backhand, missed the net. Tracks the puck down. She's had numerous breakaway opportunities. Just the hockey IQ and the speed to race ahead and understand angles and beat defenders as she hops off the ice. And we've got a delayed penalty coming up. Another one on River City. And the third of the game on Semling. This one, I don't think she's smiling about like she was the first one. That is a very delayed penalty, if that's a penalty. Because I didn't see the hand raised, but and now Todd Gutterman wants a word with the ref. And a pointed word at that. Because Semling, yeah, it was tough to see what she did there. If it was they indicated like it was interference or an elbow or something, but I just looked like she was back checking from my standpoint, but At any rate, Rogers goes on the power play. They're 0 for 2 today. Dan Miller, meanwhile, like we said, in his second season in charge. And in fact, multiple penalties as Gabby Charbonneau is going to serve. I don't know if it's too many players on the ice or what, but Charbonneau and Semling both in the box. Charbonneau hasn't played yet today, so she's obviously the extra player. Just a player advantage for Rogers. Shot turned, hits player out front. Volkers, or Bailey rather, skins with it. Or maybe they called I don't know if they called the coaches. There's a shot, great save. Misconduct penalty is the call. As now we've got a heap of players in front, right in front. They were jamming at that. And the goalie, Elin Bernovic, had covered up. So Sydney comes in, her sister, and taps her up. So now Sydney Bernovic moves in to take the draw. As you see the multiple efforts here, right on the doorstep, Volkers. Now they send it all the way down, and Bernovic speeds after it. Bernovic forces the turnover. She wants a shorthanded goal. Bernovic pinned to the wall by Bailey. Just a board battle as Bernovic's just trying to keep it and waste time, and she's doing a good job of that. Penalty halfway over already. Rogers has had a couple shots with this advantage. Bernovic tracks it down to the corner. Now she's ridden off the puck and to the ice. And now Bernovic will hop off and a new penalty killer will come on. Centering pass, great chance off the post. Volkers, and this time they do score. Hadley struck the sophomore, her fourth of the season. Rogers finally makes River City pay, and it's 6-2 Blades. Hadley struck the sophomore, and it was a play made by Evelyn Volkers. I think that Volkers will get at least the primary assist. Our third power play goal of the game already is that one coming at 11:58. Chance here for Tessa Bowden, who's on a hat trick, and it's knocked off her skip. Now it's Struk who's sprays the goalie, and so that gets a little tap, but just following up as Bernovic decided to melt it down. So a little more end-to-end action, a little more open in this second period. As you can see, she kind of came to a halt. Bit of a hockey faux pas, as I understand it. Anna Pitson there to object, but no harm, no fouls. We play on here at the True Stone Center in Rogers. A little more than 5 minutes left before our second intermission. 6-2 our score. Shots a little more even now, 22-14. So for the period, that's a 9 apiece. Shots 9 even. Good job tying up in front. Shot in the slot, hits her own teammate. Punkachar. Pass up ahead onto the stick of Bowden. They'll change on the fly as Bowden rings it around. Solomon picks it up at the right point. Like you said, River City playing a few more lines than they did in the first period, not running those top lines out there quite as much. as it's banked off the boards and all the way down. Solomon gets to it before Brnovic needs to. Tipped into the zone here by Reed. Bunkenchar trying to get there first, but it's going to be a Sweejan who cycles it. She'll play her college hockey next year at St. Scholastica up in Duluth. Centering pass picked up by Brnovic. Skates behind her own net with her sister in net. Long stretch pass taken away by Rogers. Volkers and Bailey have been heavily involved all game. Brnovic providing pressure out there. Skating onto it here, Kruger. Centering pass, and they miss the net. Bailey just popped it too high, and it goes over the net. They come off the wall with it. Sweejan. Semling zips a pass. Cross ice for Lindquist. Lindquist pocket picked by Kruger. Kruger dancing through defenders off the glove of Brnovic. Opportunity here, blocked down by Sydney Brnovic. And that shot easily paddled aside by Elin Brnovic. Terrific action here. Is that one taken by the goal scorer in this period, Hadley Struk. Icing the call. That was the slowest icing ever as that trickled down the ice. As you see, another terrific chance for Rogers. Great pass by Kruger onto the stick of Bailey, but she just flipped it up over the net. So Elin Brnovic finds the faceoff down in her end to the left. Right circle of the River City zone. Cleared but not out, held momentarily by Fitzke. Here's a shot. Brnovic makes the save. Rebound off those bouncy end boards. This is the best, most sustained possession Rogers has had in the River City zone all game. And they are definitely playing with a little more of a jump. But Callie Alphen takes it out. 2-on-1 for River City. Alphen fires. Good block there by Fitzke. Following up, there's a shot. Another block by Fitzke. They'll go back up the wall with it for Pitson. And she loses out. Taken back here by Swanson. Swanson on the backhand, centering pass. Pad save. Good fundamental hockey, though, from the Royals. Backhanded out to neutral. And then flipped back in, and finally Elin Brnovic will just take the whistle. Inside of 2 minutes to go, second period, 6-2. Yeah, River City, Rogers rather, selling out to make those stops. Multiple shot blocks by Sena Fitzke. They gave, if you haven't heard June Semling's name in a while, it's because they gave her a misconduct, and it must be of the 10-minute variety. For what, I'm not sure, because it looked like she was just back-checking, so not really clear on why she was given a game misconduct, or at least a 10-minute misconduct. We'll see if she returns once the third period starts. Obviously a little unclear, but at any rate, Sydney Brnovic tries to win the draw forward and can't, and so Rogers passes it out of the zone. Kruger jams on the brakes in the right corner, pops it back to the point, and then it's taken away by Sydney Brnovic, and she's got a breakaway. Brnovic moves in, forehand, backhand, forehand, and she scores! Sydney Brnovic, the senior co-captain and all-state candidate. Second goal of the game, 23rd of the season on a beautiful breakaway finish. Once she gets going like that, not much you can do, and she just goes backhand, forehand, backhand, or forehand, backhand, forehand to finish. River City 7, Rogers 2. With a minute to go. So River City has made a habit, at least this afternoon, of scoring early in games and then early in the period and late in the period. And those are some back-breaking goals to give up. Unassisted for Semling, who scored late in the other period as well. Basically scored at the same time, 15:57 of both periods. This one an even strength goal in which she just sprinted onto a loose puck and raced away and calmly finished for her 23rd goal of the season. There's a reason we spotlighted her in the open. 7-2 our score. One more shot from distance. Campbell Erickson takes it as the horn sounds and the period ends. And again, some extracurriculars as the period ends. So this has been a surprisingly chippy game, to say the least. But 14-12 shots in the period favored Rogers. But ultimately, River City matched them on the scoreboard. And in fact, improved them on the scoreboard. They scored 2, Rogers scored 1. And after 2 periods of play here at the Shrewstone Center, it's River City 7, Rogers 2 on CCX.
For 90 years, Connection has been at the heart of everything they do at Topline Financial Credit Union. Their team is passionate about connecting with you to help you reach your financial dreams. For some, they're here for your first, like your first checking account, first car, or first home. For others, they're here for those next steps, whether it's remodeling your home, saving for retirement, or starting a small business. Become a Topline member and let them be a part of your big moments. Visit toplinecu.com, because connected, we all do better. Federally insured with the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
In our second intermission here in Rogers, as the River City Blades all over the Rogers Royals here on the road, 7-2 our score. They led 5-1 after 1 period, scored 2 more goals, one of them on the power play as we take a look at second period highlights. And the turnover forced here, Tessa Bowden lighting the lamp from up close, picking out that corner to make it 6-1 River City. And the route was on officially then. Rogers, though, outshot River City in that second period. They did a nice job following up here as Hadley struck and scored the second Rogers goal of the game. But then June Semling outraced everybody on the breakaway and scored a very nice and technically sound goal as she hushes the crowd here at the Shrewstone Center. And those were our highlights in the second period. River City, on the strength of their really talented kids, are in control here. As you see, the 4 for 16 penalties that you saw for River City. June Semling got a 10-minute misconduct penalty. But on the power play, the special teams have been wonderful for River City tonight. 3 for 3. They have made no mistake. They've taken advantage of their chances. And even though the shots on goal are fairly even, ultimately the score is really the tail of the tape here this afternoon. So we'll be back to see what happens in the third period shortly from the Shrewstone Center at Rogers. 7-2. River City leads the Royals on CCX.
Thank you to our supporting sponsor, Scott's Lawn Care, serving homes and businesses of their neighbors in the Twin Cities West Metro area. Scott's Lawn Care team offers services ranking from weekly maintenance to complete redesign. Also, Scott's Lawn Care offers snow plowing services, for the smallest residential lots to large commercial projects as well. Thank you, Scott's Lawn Care, for being a supporting sponsor of CCX Media.
Start of the third period here at Truestone Center in Rogers. Beautiful facility right next to a brand new all-turf facility that's connected to it. So kids up in Rogers, no shortage of places to play their sports. And we were wondering about June Semling, the captain, who's got 2 goals and an assist, if she was why she was maybe in the box for a 10-minute misconduct. And this might explain it, as she chases after a loose puck and the girl cuts her off, and then just a little bit of a punch, shove, something in the head of, I believe it's hard to see the number there, but one of the Rogers defenders, one of the Rogers skaters, I think. Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's Lily Barnhouse, who, and right in front of the ref, too. So not a smart penalty to take. And so Semling, not sure if it's a game misconduct. I would think she'd have skated off if it was, but she definitely gives her a shot in the back of the head either way. So that's why we have not seen June Semling on the ice. And the Rogers fans were already kind of cheesed off at her, and that is not going to help things, as she's played very physical, took 2 penalties in the first period, and has been sitting in the box for nearly 10 minutes as Rogers puts a shot on net, and Elin Bernovic makes a nice save to start things. 7-2 our score. A 5-goal lead. 6 goals would mean running clock, but we're not there yet. And we'll see if we get there. Sydney Bernovic trying to make sure that happens as she toe drags her way past one defender into the zone. Finally has it taken off her stick. .25-20 shots in favor of Rogers. Puck is iced. So a minute gone by here, third period. River City and Callie Alphen in control. Elin Bernovic has saved 18 of 20 shots she's faced, the freshman. The backup normally to Gianna Eckel. Off the face-off, Swanson gains the zone for Rogers, splits one on net, and Bernovic sees it all the way and hugs it for a save. Been pretty solid in net overall. Draw one back by Rogers. Now at the point, thrown in front, hits the skate of a defender. I believe that was Solomon. Picked up here by Lily Reed. She reverses course. Now it's Alphen, or I beg your pardon, I think that's Sweejan, who looks up, fires to the blue line where it's stolen. It's Callie Easton trying to control. Goes back in deep. Rogers changing on the fly. They'll try to keep the Blades pinned down deep. Stolen at center ice. Banked in the zone by Barnhouse, and her shot goes wide. Reed drops it back. The bounding puck eventually stolen here. There's a shot from distance that goes wide. Might have been saved by the blocker. Now a board battle in the left wing corner. Shots nearly even now as Rogers has taken the first 3 shots of this third period. Really, that first period, especially that 3-minute section of time late in the first period when it went from 2-1 to 5-1, that really is when the game was broken open, as Rogers still creating havoc in the zone. Barnhouse again from the point. River City now struggling to clear the zone. Bunkachar loses it. And eventually it'll be flung deep, blocker to side. River City with a new fresh set of skaters on the ice. And of course, Sydney Bernovic comes over and immediately regains possession for River City. Tessa Bowden. And that's the difference, I would say, between a team like River City and a team like number 2 Centennial. Is Bernovic on a hat trick. Good save by Zoe Campbell. Campbell Erickson, rather. As that's flung down the ice. Zoe Campbell Erickson, to be specific. I would say that's the difference, is River City has a really good top line with top skaters with the likes of Tessa Bowden and Sydney Bernovic and June Semling, but Centennial has 3 lines that are similar quality. So just the depth, and that's the difference. Centennial has been excellent. And June Semling, the second she gets out of the box, commits another penalty. She will go, I think, for a trip. Or no, interference. And now the head coach is hot. The coach is very angry. The player did go to the ice. Ellie Bailey, Rogers fans are happy. The coach, however, is not, as he is absolutely livid, Dan Miller. And now there's going to be another penalty, I think, for a bench misconduct, as Morgan Johnson takes that penalty. I think Coach Todd Gutterman is just frustrated that Semling keeps getting called for these penalties. You just see him just beside himself, shaking his head. Now we've got a timeout, and I think it's so that Coach Gutterman can lay into the ref. And I don't know if he just feels like Semling's getting unfairly dealt with or what, but this is she's committed a penalty in each one of the 3 periods, and obviously the 10-minute misconduct, but literally she had just hopped back on the ice. So I think Gutterman is sticking up for his player. And a bench penalty, sure enough, is, and you could just see her just, not again. Rogers fans, of course, thrilled with the call as she's. And now we've got a little bit of a conference, and I'm not sure what it's about. The 2 refs conferring near the bench. So Semling on the ice, you see her tracking the play, and she eventually takes down Bailey. Coach Gutterman continues to plead his case with the refs to no avail. It's really slowed down the tempo of this game. And I just think he's sticking up for his player, his co-captain. I think he thinks she's just being, they're just taking it out on her. So, and another bench penalty is Bernovic. Oh, I think Bernovic might be done. I think that's it. Yeah, that's a game misconduct. I'm not really sure what changed from the initial one, but the Rogers fans cheer as she is taken out. But I don't know if it's just she committed enough penalties to where she's been disqualified, or if something else happened. I don't know what would have changed, I guess, from when she was sent to the box initially for what looked like just an interference call. So, but June Semling done with 2 goals and an assist. Wonderful first period for her, and then she just didn't really impact the game beyond that. So Rogers goes back on the power play. They are 1 for 4 there today. And now Sydney Bernovic, it's a real lively game for being 7-2. As Rogers got a 5-on-3 for the next minute 30. You know Bernovic's going to be out there as much as possible, as well as Alphen, and Rogers' play goes offside for the Royals. So Rogers regains the zone. They have a 5-on-3. They have a chance to build some confidence, maybe get back in this game. And it's the Bernovics, Elin and Sydney, who are going to try to keep this a 5-goal lead. Callie Alphen's out there, Tessa Bowden, and this time they score. And so sure enough, they take advantage as Elin Bernovic makes the save, and hopefully she's okay. She looks a little shaken up after that shot. She's being checked on by her teammate, Kylie Oswegian. And it looks like maybe she got hit, I don't know, in the gut or something. We'll have to see the replay, but ultimately, Rogers was there to... Yeah, it's hard to tell from here. She looks like she makes the save, and then it's swept in by number 22, Olivia Johansson, who gets her 4th of the season. So we might see Gianna Eckel finish this game after all. Boy, this game has had more stops and starts. And power play goals, too. It's been a feast of power play goals. And sure enough, it looks like Gianna Eckel may enter this hockey game. Scoring for the Royals, number 22, Olivia Johansson. Elin Bernovic, I think, wants to stay in, but this game just between the penalties and the coach conversations and the allowed goal, as our score is now 7-3. The injuries, that it's just been fits and starts. As the Royals convert on the power play, 2 of their 3 goals have come with the player advantage. And well, she's going to stay in. I don't know if she just got the wind knocked out of her or something, but Elin Bernovic is going to stay in this game and try to finish this out with a 7-3 lead. She might have just pulled something or stretched something funny, because she had to go post to post, pushing off that right skate. Wait the official announcement to see who gets the assist, but Rogers scores on the power play. Like we said, 2 of their 3 tonight have been with the extra player. The play goes offside, so face-off will come in the neutral zone. Well, River City, if they want, could just see this out. Just stay out of the box, see this game out, and take home a 7-3 win. But you know they're going to try to score, as at some point they're going to start playing angry. Oh, nearly an opportunity for Corbin Kruger, but instead it's picked up. Here's Tessa Bowden on a hat trick. Bowden taken down from behind. And sure enough, a penalty, and it's going to be a penalty shot, I think. We'll see. They're congratulating Bowden. So Bowden drives in. Certainly tripped up the stick between the legs, or between the skates to trip her up by Evelyn Volkers. And that is indeed going to be a penalty shot. So Tessa Bowden on a hat trick will get a penalty shot after she was taken down on a breakaway from behind. Bowden on the season, 13 goals, 15 assists, nearing the 30-point mark. Zoe Campbell-Erickson awaits, moves in, shoots, scores! Tessa Bowden, the Hattie, on the road, and the Hats come streaming down, 8-3, River City. She moved in and just flipped it past Campbell-Erickson, and you know that had to feel good after seeing her fellow co-captain disqualified from the game earlier. Back to a 5-goal lead now for the Royals. Bowden scored in the first, the second, and now the third period. As that goal coming with at the 5:07 mark of the third period. Technically, Rogers still on a power play. Bowden wants more, but fires high. Now they'll just try to kill it off and go back to even strength. Shots almost even for the game now, 26-23. As Bella Lindquist hops on the ice with the penalty over, and the team's back to full strength. We'll see if the extracurriculars continue in this game or if things just kind of naturally quiet down a little bit. 11 minutes left in the third period, 8-3. River City in complete command here. And again, if they can just stay out of the box. Bowden now has it, a 2-on-1 chance. She'll shoot. Blocker save made. Bounding loose puck. Caitlin Easton can't get to it. Lindquist. And ultimately picked up here by Johansson. Scored the last goal on the power play. Johansson flashes that shot wide. Played on back, board battle left half wall. Alphen tied up, but they come away with it. 2-on-2 as they enter the zone. Weaving to the outside, shot, good save, Campbell-Erickson. Alphen comes down to the left point, carries it down the half wall, and then bumped off the puck there by Peyton Strombeck. You know, one name we haven't called much tonight, and I don't even recall seeing her on the ice that much, is Bridget O'Brien. So, which is not something we expected for someone with 7 goals and 4 assists coming in. Energy still good from both teams. And again, River City looking to come in and win their 7th out of the last 8 games. They lost to Minnetonka before Christmas, and they lost 4-3 to Woodbury in the championship game. A good Woodbury team that was ranked, so a lot of their losses lately have just been to ranked teams. Tessa Bowden, already on a hat trick, drops it back. There's a shot off the crossbar. Oh, Sydney Bernovic looking for her 3rd goal, and that had some heat on it as she hits the crossbar. But the iron unkind for Bernovic. Does not count as a shot on goal, which I always find amusing. Bernovic picks it up left corner. Dangerous pass out front, but eventually finds its way onto the stick of Pitson. Coach Gutterman would be in his rights to just play the 3rd and 4th lines the rest of the game, but he's still got the ones out there. Nifty skating here. Sweden gains the zone, and then her shot's deflected up and out of play. Stops the clock with 8:06 to go, third period. Campbell Erickson, Zoe Campbell Erickson, after being pulled in the first, comes back in the second and third. And then drop back to Brnovic outside the left circle, and that thing was always rising, but man, that was lasered. Alphen. Shot goes wide. Centered in the circle, just the hash marks really, and then saved. Skating out with it here, Nora Hendrickson. Again, some new names that haven't seen much ice time tonight. Hendrickson throws it off the end wall. Rogers still in the zone, centering pass picked off by Alphen. Snaps a pass ahead. Onto the stick of number 6, Caitlin Easton. River City in the midst of a change. Tessa Bowden centered, but nobody was home. They hold the zone momentarily. Still, good job to keep it in by a hustling Bella Lindquist. Lindquist off the side netting. Skating onto it is Sweegen. Over to Brnovic, cross ice. Sydney Brnovic skates middle. Beautiful drop pass for Bowden. She lights the lamp again. She lights the lamp again for the 4th time tonight. And we are into running time now with a 6-goal lead for River Cities. Beautiful drop pass to Tessa Bowden, and she finds the back of the net. 2nd goal of the period, 4th goal of the game. What a beauty. Even strength goal coming at 10:28 of the period. Hang a star on that one, jeez. Assisted by Brnovic. 2 in this period, so 5 in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the third. And now with 6 minutes to go in the hockey game, it's 9-3 Blades. That one was picture perfect. Here comes Brnovic again. This time no teammate to pass to, drops her shoulder and then has it taken off her stick. Tipped ahead. Job defensively reading that play by Kylie Sweegen. Loose in the middle of the ice. A little tic-tac-toe passing, 2-on-1 if they hurry. Sweegen recovers well. And ultimately they don't even concede a shot. 5 minutes to go in the game. Really efficient effort offensively tonight for River City. We have 9 goals on just 28 shots on goal. I shouldn't say just, but that's pretty efficient when you're scoring 1 out of every 4 shots, basically. Callie Alphen gets there first. Tessa Bowden, our first start of the game with 4 goals tonight. Came into the game with 11. She's up to 15 goals and 15 assists on the season. Meanwhile, Sydney Brnovic with a pair of goals and an assist. Jean Semling a pair of goals and an assist. Another shot as Campbell Erickson makes the save. Caitlin Easton out there mixing it up a little bit as she takes the draw. Great feed there, and ultimately Lily Barnhouse comes in. I think Barnhouse is a bit of an agitator, although just a freshman. She was the one that ultimately June Semling shoved, and that's what led to her misconduct. Another save from Campbell Erickson as River City's up to 30 shots for the game. Blades still battling, as is Rogers, is going deeper into their lines. Marissa Peterson on the ice for the first time tonight. Peterson picks it up, stapled to the boards along the right half wall. Lindquist runs into a teammate at the blue line and loses it, or rather that was Swanson. Becca Shortridge out there as well. Bowden walks the blue line, slides it to Bernovic, chases it to the corner. Bernovic slams on the brakes and assesses her options, decides to go back down the wall. Alphen skates off for a change as there's a little board battle happening right wing with 2 minutes to go. River Cities will improve to 13-7 on the season, 7-2 in conference play. Rogers will fall to 7-12-1 as they add another one, does River Cities. 10-3 our score. 3 here in the third. This is not hurting their goals for average. As you see on the backhand, beautiful goal, well done there by Livy Reed. Just her second of the season. I think Bernovic may get one of the assists. Happy smiles. 10 goals on 32 shots for the Blades.
1 minute remaining in the third period.
Not even announcing this goal. Minute to go. And Royals will fall to 500 in the conference. 7-12-1 overall. Young Royals team that's seemingly didn't have the help of Bridget O'Brien tonight. I really don't recall seeing her out there. I don't know if she got hurt early on or what, but shorthanded and young, and playing a really talented River Cities team. Certainly, especially their top-end talent is 4 players going to college and playing college hockey, and that made all the difference tonight. 10-3 our score, final 10 seconds. Bowden, 4 goals for her. And that'll do it. River Cities comes on the road, and on the strength of Tessa Bowden's 4 goals, as well as plenty of other offensive contributions up and down the first 2 lines, they win in a rout here at the True Stone Center. 10-3 our final. So for Director Brian Hansen and our entire terrific CCX Sports crew, I'm Bill Hupp saying good evening from True Stone Center in Rogers. River Cities wins in a rout over the Rogers Royals. Final score, River Cities Blades 10, Rogers Royals 3.